Ah, hell. I'm in the wrong game again. Hey guys, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming at you another Let's Play episode of Far Beyond the World. So, the last place we left off, shower time for Ranok. Something about ball soup. Oh god, that was so weird. But anyway, guys, it looks like Verissa and Vulgor have joined us, and I think we're going over some kind of plan. A travel plan, perhaps. Anyway, guys, sit back and enjoy the video. Hope you all enjoy. Alright, let's get into it. People have been telling me that I'm going to really enjoy this next part, so, oh boy. Well, what is the plan? As much as I hate it, we're going to follow your initial idea. What? The wolf blinks and I share his confusion. More so since I can see a barely contained smirk behind Vulgar's stone-cold expression. I thought you said the whole sanctuary was a wash. Yes, but there are two things we can do to make it less so. What things? Oh no. Oh no. You're going to love it. Finally, the black male allows a smirk to stretch across his muzzle. It unsettles me a lot. Stop being cryptic and simply spill it out already. Verissa doesn't say a word, clearly not comfortable with whatever they had come up with. Oh, hell. But I can see Vul's gaze drill into me as he narrows his eyes. It finally dawns on me. Oh, no. Wait, you said only gravely wounded can... I cut off as Vulgar arches his brow in a satisfied smile. Mm-hmm. We need to fix this little lapse in our argument. I feel my heart sink into my stomach, and I automatically move towards the bed to sit down on it. I hear a growl brewing inside Ranok's throat, his hackles rising as he widens his stance. You're not suggesting what I think you're suggesting. Spare me the theatrics. You asked for my help, and here it is. She looks at me with a calm, calculative gaze. I knew it was our only way forward yesterday. However, I first had to commune with the spirits to make sure I'm not making a mistake. And this is what you came up with? I jumped up as he spits out in anger, snarling at the other wolves. Vul is right. You're high as a fucking kite. I hear a melodic growl rise from the female as she only gives Ranok a side eye. Watch it, she utters softly through her fangs. It's either this or the human gets killed. I will not allow it. Then we will report you to the chief and simply end this madness. The female waves her paw dismissively. I cannot help you if you're not willing to listen. I try to contain involuntary shivers rocking my body as my heart races through my chest. They aren't here to discuss options. It's an ultimatum. I can see Ranok getting more and more rattled, and I want to avoid another brawl. Ranok. I struggle to speak through my clenched throat. It's fine. I try to reassure him, but the wolf doesn't pay me any mind. The fuck it is! Even he understands. Vulgar nods to me. Since it's the human's life on the line, perhaps he should have the final say. The black male looks at me expectantly, and I freeze. What do they want me to say? I don't mind getting hurt. I struggle with responding, my lips trembling. Don't say a word, Ranok commands, and I straighten up like a scolded child. He's looking at the white female with anger. What was the point of you even communing with the spirits? He asks mockingly, as if doubting she even did. Because we were about to lie in the face of our ancestors. Even if we hurt the human to make him look wounded, it will be a lie because he wasn't wounded when you brought him here. And what? They agreed? They told you that mutilating him is a great idea? He continues to snarl, and I can see that this whole concept doesn't sit well with him almost as much as it doesn't sit well with me. But at the end of the day, it's me who has to suffer, and if it's a choice between death and getting them in trouble, or following whatever scheme this female cooked up, I don't know. I'm so conflicted. The ancestors didn't say anything, which I simply take as a lack of their objection. Conveniently. Even now, Vul cannot help himself. His indifference and calm demeanor somehow helps me steel myself and I stand up. Okay. They all regard me with surprise, Ranok more so than the others. Let's do it. I can't believe I'm actually saying this. You're not serious! I am. I look at him sternly. I appreciate his protectiveness, however, it doesn't help us here. If it's the only way... I look to Verissa as she winces in discomfort. Trust me, if there was another... I know. I nod. I believe she would not have suggested this if she had a better idea. After all, she's pretty adamant that she saves lives, not endangers them. I approach the white she-wolf with reluctant steps, stopping just a few paces away from her. So, what are we talking about? I look at their serious muzzles one by one. One of you will maul me? Vulgor stifles a chuckle, looking at me with a half-smirk. You'd like that, wouldn't you, Piglet? Shut up! Ranok growls again, forcing me to place a hand on his rattled chest. 1 second, guys. Allergies. There we go. Orien, this is... I move my hand to his muzzle, cutting him off. His outbursts aren't helping, and I want this to be over with. So, what then? Oh, that didn't sound nice. Verissa looks to Vulgor, who pulls out his dagger, presenting it to her. I grimace, seeing its sharp tip glistening in the sun. You're going to stab me? I look to the she-wolf with a worried expression. I don't have enough experience to not actually hurt you. And as a shaman, I took an oath. So did he, and I'm sure as fuck not gonna do it. I didn't ask you. Vola's the only one who can do it safely. The black male regards Verissa with slight discomfort. I did swear on my moonstone not to hurt the human. The point here is to do the exact opposite, to make it look bad, while it being nothing more than a flesh wound. You're not going to be hurting the human, you'll be saving his life. You're playing semantics. Ha! Now it bothers you. He snorts. I think this will hurt me no matter how you will dress it in words. I mutter with resignation, glancing to Vulgor. The black male is quite calm, his expression not entirely cold and almost sympathetic. Or perhaps I'm just seeing what I want to see. No, he cannot be the one to do it. He gets carried away way too easily. Ranok, you're obviously too emotionally involved in this. You either botch it up or make a completely unconvincing scrape. Vul is not only our best fighter, but he's also an experienced butcher. I blink, shuddering at the second epithet. And that's better how? Because I know where to push the blade without damaging any of your innards. No! The Grey Wolf protests, but the female locks her gaze with mine. I say it's only fair for the human to decide. Orien, if you're really going to agree to this... Orien, if you really agree to go through with this madness, at least let me do it. I look at Ranok's desperate expression, worried about the choice I'm presented with. I know the Grey Wolf means well, and I inexplicably trust him with my life. But at the same time, I don't know if I could look at him the same way if he were to be the one to stab me. So far, he's the anchor that allows me to stay calm and grounded. I don't want to lose that safe haven I have with him. But then I look to Vulgor, who simply raises his brow expectantly. Can I really trust this brute not to go overboard? Immediately, the image of his snarling snout flashed through my mind as he hangs above, squeezing the life out of me. Oh lord, they were right. This next part is a doozy. I cringe, ominous feelings of dread filling my mind again. His blade will taste my flesh after all. The question is, whose paw will guide it? Damn it all to hell. Alright, so I'm guessing that this is like a massive, major choice in the game. Well, obviously I'm gonna pick Vulgor because I don't want to skimp out on him, so. I'd rather Vulgor do it. Orien. I approach the Grey Wolf with an apologetic gaze. I can see he is taking it the wrong way, that he feels I don't trust him. I gently touch the side of his muzzle, petting him reassuringly. I don't want to associate you with being stabbed. He narrows his eyes, looking at me unconvinced. He already choked me. What's one stabbing going to change? I try to make him laugh, but he simply looks away. Vulgor is the one who chuckles at the remark, causing Ranok to idly growl. This is fucked up! I laugh nervously. You only noticed this now? Things have been crazy around here ever since I woke up. He sighs, looking at me with sad eyes. I'll make it up to you. I promise. I know you will. Or that he will at least try. Not sure how one can make up for his stabbing. And unstabbing. Take the wound away! Ranok pushes past me and squares off with Vulgor, looking the other male right in his eyes. If you fuck this up... Relax, the kid made the right choice and you know it. Have I, though? I feel the black paw land on my shoulder, drawing my attention to the larger male. I grimace as Vulgor winks at me. Get the moonshine. Gotta do this right. Ranok nods reluctantly and disappears into the other room. He returns shortly with a clay bottle in his paws. The gray wolf removes the cork with his teeth, causing a hollow popping sound. I can feel a boozy smell from where I stand as he passes the bottle to Vulgor. Here! The black male pushes the bottle towards me, and I look at him with confusion. Take a deep, long gulp. Is this gonna be like the shit the fucking space wolves drink? This is just gonna fucking kill me? He says almost indifferently, and I grimace. The smell is making me woozy. This is some other level shit. But I'm about to be stabbed. I reluctantly look to the blade tucked behind Vulgor's belt and swallow heavily. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take a gulp. Why would I refuse? I want to feel that? No! I sigh and quickly push the bottle to my lips. Oh, sorry, guys. Poured straight to the back of your throat. Do not even try to taste it. He gives the advice just before I tilt my head back. I try to let the liquid wash over my mouth, but the burning sensation hits me within just a second. I cough like a drowning man, spitting out some of the alcohol along the way. The black wolf scoffs with amusement, quickly pushing the bottle back to my face. You seriously need to take more than that. Trust me. I nod, taking another deep breath. The smell of this concoction makes my head spin, and it takes me a few more moments to muster the courage. I try again to swallow as much of the burning substance as I can. I manage to take 2 long gulps before my stomach threatens to evacuate its contents. I smack my lips as I push the bottle away, taking a few rattled breaths. Fuck! It's disgusting! Vulgor takes the bottle away from me and pulls his dagger out. I look at it reluctantly, seeing as the wolf douses it with moonshine. That's gonna make it sting. He passes the blade to Ranok to hold for a moment, while he approaches me and touches my makeshift toga. I feel very awkward about this brute undressing me, and when I hear the linen fall to the ground, that sensation is empowered. I don't know if it's the booze already hitting me, but I feel flushed, and despite the cold air, my face is burning hot. Vul simply picks up a corner of the linen and soaks it with alcohol, gently rubbing and cleaning my left side with a damp cloth. This is where he means to stab me. I feel my heart race, my breath rattle, my vision blur. I can see he knows what he's doing, but... It's going to be okay. He whispers softly, obviously picking up on my increasing heart rate. I made a promise, didn't I? He looks at me, holding up his moonshine to my face. I cannot be sure if I'm not imagining it, but I can see a subtle, reassuring smile on his muzzle. I take a deep breath, seeing as he retrieves his blade from Ranok. The gray wolf has a worried expression, with ears folded back and his tail tucked. I'll be fine, I mutter towards Ranok, who nods reluctantly. It's almost funny that I try to reassure him just before getting stabbed. I feel the black wolf grab my shoulder and stumble back in slight panic. Shouldn't we wait for the booze to kick in? It will kick in, when needed. His large muscular arm sweeps behind me, pulling me into an awkward half-embrace. Do you want a gag? He asks softly, but I shake my head. I remember what he used last time. Besides, I feel that a gag would only make this whole experience much more terrifying. You cannot scream. I nod nervously. Okay then, rest yourself against me and do not move. I sigh and push my body against his form. It almost feels like leaning against a wall covered with fur, each of his muscles hard like a brick. His left paw holds my back, pressing me harder into his torso as I rest my head upon his chest. For the first time, I get close enough to feel his scent. He smells of tree bark and earth, a very manly smell to be sure. I can hear his heartbeat now, slow and steady, almost as if he were sleeping. Not a hint of stress or hesitation, and it allows me to steel myself for what's to come. I shudder as the tip of the blade gently pricks my left side, just above the hip, as Vulgor aligns his dagger with my body. It's okay. Don't look at it, he says, drawing my gaze upwards toward his muzzle. That's it. Look at me. My eyes swell as I gaze into his blood-red irises. Time seems to stop as I hear my breath echo, almost as if everything came to a halt. In a split second, I feel a hard, wet punch to my side, with a cold metal handle pressing against my skin. I gasp, not even registering much pain at first. It only stings, and I hold my breath in disbelief, seeing that the blade disappeared into my flesh up to the hilt. Shh. I close my eyes, causing the tears to flow freely. I can feel him push me harder into his body as I begin to shiver. Then the gasps turn into screams as he pulls the blade out of my body. My legs go soft and I fully rest in Vulgor's embrace. I hear the knife clang to the floor as the black wolf prevents me from falling. He covers my mouth with his paw while another set reaches out to me from behind. Shh! Orien! It is pain like I have never felt before, radiating from the wound and shifting rapidly between sharp, painful twinges and dull, hammer-like pounding. Vulgor shushes me while I try to contain my wailing. I keep hyperventilating, with his paw still covering my mouth. Oh, what an image. I open my eyes, meeting their worried gazes. I try to reach my throbbing side, but Verissa quickly rushes in and pushes my hand away. Don't touch it! She scolds me, carefully inspecting the wound. I just look at the ceiling, regarding the same planks I looked at the night before. I close my eyes again, crying out another surge of agony, severe pain radiating from within the wound. It's fine, it's deep, but almost no bleeding. Pushed it between the skin and the muscle. Right, get him onto the bed. I always thought people pass out when something like this happens, but no matter how distressed I am, or how much pain I'm in, I cannot faint. My mind is clear and sharp, almost everything seems to happen in slow motion. I feel as if I levitate, drifting lifelessly across the room. I see them move me onto the bed, but with Verissa dousing my wound with the moonshine. It stings like hell, but it's just a minor inconvenience compared to the agony my entire left side is in. And the female opens her little container, dipping her paw into what looks like some sort of ointment. She rubs it generously onto my wound, saying something to the others, but by now I can only hear muffled sounds. My vision begins to blur just as I notice Ranok's sorrowful expression appear above me. I reach out to him, but I feel an odd weakness overtakes me. Just as my hand is about to drop back to the bed, he grabs it, kneeling next to me. It's okay. I'm here. I hear his voice echo as if we were in a cave. I'm sorry he has to see this. His distress clearly visible makes this so much worse. The room spins a little and I feel like vomiting. The female begins to cover my side with bandages, however my head gets increasingly heavy. I think the booze began to hit me, and the pain, although still great, begins to dull out. My eyes are hot and dry, and I need to close them just for a moment, to give them rest. Their muffled conversation begins to fade, as eventually I just let go and drift away. There's no more pain. My eyes open onto the wooden ceiling, a familiar knotted plank just above me. It's clearly nighttime. The room is dark and cold. So very cold. Despite being covered by several blankets, my entire body shivers and I can hear my teeth chattering. The slight discomfort in my side reminds me of what happened. I was stabbed. I reached to where the blade was penetrated my skin, feeling meticulous dressing covering the wound. I wince under my own touch, the spot still sore but surprisingly less so than I expected. A droplet runs across my face, all the way from my forehead towards the chin. I'm sweating. Only now I realize I'm a little bit woozy. I feel lightheaded, and it almost seems as if I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Everybody look at me because I'm sailing on a boat. I try to swallow, but I can't, as my throat is completely dry. Ranok? I attempt to call out, but only hear a raspy wheeze escape my lips. I struggle to swallow again, looking around the dark room. My eyes lock immediately on a large shadow settled onto the coffer in front of the bed. I can't make out what it actually is through my blurry eyes, but the shape fills me with dread. It almost looks like a dark figure sitting there, watching me. Is this another nightmare? Who are you? I demand, but again all I manage is a stifled whisper. Cold sweat dots my body, and I feel both freezing and on fire, my eyes burning, forcing me to shut them every few seconds. My muscles ache, but I manage to crawl myself towards the edge of the bed, constantly observing the foreboding shadow on the other side of the room. I need to get out of here. I lean myself over the edge and repeat the same mistake I made the very first moment I woke up in this world. I tumble lifelessly to the floor, and despite how hard I hit the wooden planks, my body is already in so much agony that the pain does not even register. The shadow springs up in surprise and immediately rushes towards me. I want to scream in terror, but cannot imagine anything other than a hiss. Orien, what the hell are you doing? The shadowy figure enters the faint light coming from the outside, and I immediately recognize the gray wolf. His voice draws from me an involuntary smile as I tear up seeing his muzzle and raising my arms to embrace him. Oh my god, that was tense. Oh lord. Alright guys, in this episode, we got stabbed. We got shanked. Cut. Diced up. Butchered. No, not butchered. Vulgor did a good job in making it apparently look bad. Not drawing much blood though, which is very impressive. I commend his stabbing skills. Oh god. Anyway guys, yeah, they were right. This part is oof. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to the next video. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!